You want to get to Ralph's house? Really? What do you reckon? Yes, let's go to Ralph's house. Yeah, well, good evening. Tuesday evening. What better way to spend your evening than painting a room? Yeah, so I'm just painting actually close to the skirting now, bottom half of the wall, because I didn't get round a chance to do those earlier on. They should go off in the morning. And just check on this. I have to watch this, it's live, you know. Yeah, plaster's going off now. I am very tempted. In fact, I think I'll mix up some polyfiller before I go and get a coat on that, and then that should have all gone off by the morning with a bit of luck. Yeah, and then I'll paint over that section probably tomorrow night. That's what I'll do. In the meantime, I'm off to the chip shop because I've had enough for tonight. Right, Wednesday morning from Ralph's house, and you'll see that I've got the boards up this morning. A lot of reasons for that. The downstairs lights, all the wiring for that is in this floor, if you think about it. So all that's got to be done before I can get all this floor back down. That's my aim now, is to get this floor all screwed down so I've got to deal with it again. And that means, it doesn't necessarily mean that I've got to wire all the lights downstairs, but I've got to have all the cables available, like cables drop down for light switches below, that sort of thing. But this back room presents a unique, well, not a problem, but a unique situation. I'll take you downstairs and I'll explain why. That's the back room. When my father lived here, he had a switch here, a light switch here, so he could put on the light in there. Now I understand that because the doors swing that way, and there is a switch the other side, but it would be a pain in the neck going around the door to put the light on just to go in there. So he had an extra switch put in here. Well, I don't know if he did, but somebody did. So there was one here, and on the other side of the wall, there was one there. There's the swing doors. But eventually, through these French doors, I'm going to put some patio doors there. Now, I would assume that if you came in through the patio doors, and you might, you would expect there to be a light switch for in here, either that side or that side, one or other, so you can put the light on when you come in. So that's 3 switches you actually need for this room. So that's 3-way switching. So I've done 2-way switching. 3-way switching has an intermediate switch. I've not done a 3-way switch, but it should be straightforward. But I'm just trying to get my head around that, because while I've got the boards upstairs, I probably need to lay 3-core and earth. So I probably need to drop one down here, come across the ceiling. I've actually just got 2-core and earth sitting here, but I think I need to change that for 3-core and earth. Come down to this, make this the intermediate switch, go straight through the wall with more 3-core and earth, and terminate in the switch the other side. You're lost. I don't blame you. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to do this morning, and also put in the ceiling spot. That one I'll end up covered up, that central light. But I'm going to put 6 spotlights in there, get those done today so I can get the floor down. That would be really nice. Instead of having to keep lift the boards in that back bedroom, I can get them all screwed down, and then that's that done. All I have to do after that then is just sweep that room and just, you know, carry on painting, which would be really good. So I do need to get those, but I've got to think about the switching at the same time as I'm putting in the spotlights, because any cables I've got to lay under that floor. Wednesday trial, that's what I call it. Anyway, we'll crack on with that. What I've done is, with the wiring in this house, to be able to gain access to it, every cable run through all these rooms is complete. There are no junctions, there are no connections, other than, you know, where spotlights will be, obviously, but you can get to those from underneath. So anywhere anything terminates will all be on this top landing. So you can literally lift the one board and get access to any of the wiring downstairs. That seems sensible. Sensible thing at Ralph's house. It's not too bad to lift the carpet on the landing to get to stuff, but it's a nightmare when you've got a room full of furniture, and I don't want to be doing that. So I'm going to have to run a 3-core and earth downstairs in the middle of the patio doors, because I don't know which side the cable's going to run. I can run across the top of the ceiling and down, you see, so I've got to drop enough down, hanging downstairs, to be able to divert it either side, the switch. And then I've got to run that cable back down here and drop it down to the intermediate switch. That's the one in the back room, straight through the wall on the switch the other side, and then connect the lighting for that. I'd all have to terminate up here, and the wires for the, oh dear, you see what I mean? There's all this stuff you've got to think about for the spotlights. But what I can do is get all the spotlights put in today. That'll be good, because at least I know where I'm running the cables. I should be doing a bit more painting as well later on. I did some last night, as you saw, and I did a little bit more this morning. Painted along the bottoms of the skirtings to keep building this up. So the paint is gradually getting more and more dense. Much like the man painting it. Right, so let's have a look and see where I'm going to put these spotlights. I think these joists are a bit awkward because they're even numbers. Now, I'll tell you why that's awkward. Is because if I'm going to put 6 in, well, it is an even number in one direction, but these joists aren't equally spaced either. So trying to get them to look right downstairs is going to take a tape measure and an awful lot of thought, I think, to get that right. Otherwise it'll look odd when you go in that room. All I can say about drilling in lath and plaster, because it did worry me a little bit, drill from the top rather than the bottom. The reason being is you generally get, I don't know, a better grip. I don't know, it seems on the top side. If you're coming through the bottom side, you don't really know what you're drilling into, for one thing. If you're coming from the top, and go very gently with your hole cutter. Don't rush it. Don't force your drill through it, and you shouldn't do too much damage below. Well, we'll find out, because I haven't looked below yet. Well, will you look at that? Perfect holes. Yeah, so I'll just clip those in. I need something to stand on. This is a little bit high for me. This is the thing with these 30s houses. The ceilings are much higher than normal houses. But anyway, really neat holes. I was really worried that I was going to shatter, but it hasn't. So we'll just pop the spotlights in, and then at least I know where I'm running my cables. 1, 2, 3. And another 1, 2, 3. Right, that's my 6 spots put in. So technically, I don't even have to worry about putting the spots in yet. All I've got to do is run a cable in, leave enough length on it to drop through the hole, back up, through the hole, back up, through the hole, back up, between those joists, come out there, through the hole, back up, so on, until you finally come to the last one, and there'll only be one cable. And that'll be the lights for the downstairs sorted. There is, I notice, just here, some of this old stuff, unless it's going that way, I am almost positive that that's going to end up where the old central light was. So I think I'll cut all that out while I've got a chance. Oh, that's those put through. Yeah, when I get a chance getting it. Well, actually, when I come to working on this room, I should bother with it, but at least I can see where the wires all go now. That'll be straightforward. Right, I've turned the power off. Because yesterday I was doing these sockets. A couple there, one behind the door, another one there. And I've got this last one to do. I've just put a mist coat beneath, so I'll come in and paint that tonight. Just get these wires stripped, I guess. Put the next socket on. Right, I'm stopping for this afternoon and coming back tonight to do a bit more painting. I've just done a little bit more, that's why it looks a different colour. It'll go whiter later. Sockets are all done now, all the power's in, all the power to the lights is in. Just got to fix that wall light on, remove the pendant, that'll be ready to go. But I don't actually have a bulb for that. It's a screw fitting and a very small one. I'll have to have a look at home, see if I've got anything similar. Yeah, awkward bulb, isn't it? Yeah, so that's it. I shall come back later on. I think I've done enough today. And I haven't had a cup of tea since about 8 o'clock this morning, and it's 1 o'clock now. So I'm getting a bit dry. So I shall go home, have a drink, have something to eat, and then, you know, sort out my son's tea. And then I'll be back this evening to do a bit more painting. So I'll see you then. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe.